If Marth is Fire Emblem's flagship character, Anna is its mascot. A cheery merchant girl with a penchant for bargaining and making a pretty penny, this iconic redhead has made her way to nearly every single Fire Emblem game, whether it's running a secret shop, being a helpful guide to the player, or actually being playable. With the exception of Gaiden, Broadcast, Satellaview, Fire Emblem, and Fire Emblem Echoes, Anna has been in all the games. But alongside her is another recurring character who has also had his fair share of cameos in Fire Emblem. Jake, her boyfriend. In this video, I want to talk about Jake and spotlight what kind of cameos he's done in the various games he's been in, and based off his interactions with his other cast members, what kind of guy he is. This is like a support science, like ultra mini for Jake. So out of all the conversations and cameos Jake takes part in, there are only two standout qualities we can infer of the guy. He's hopelessly and adorably in love with his girlfriend, and he's also hopelessly and adorably dumb. Anna is the keen and savvy businesswoman, usually trying to avoid trouble while making a quick buck. On the other hand, Jake is an adventurer. In the Marth games, he's always out doing something adventurous and dangerous, and every time Anna is worried about him. This worry is like the pretext for recruiting him in Shadow Dragon. In Shadow Dragon, Jake is currently working for the army of Grust. Anna is worried about him and mentions that not all Grust soldiers are bad apples. She hints that Jake will only be recruited by the most beautiful of women, because Jake has a soft spot for cuties. That said, nothing comes close to Anna. During his recruitment with Sheeta, while she does do her best to convince him to join the other side, it's only until she mentions that Anna would love him for it that he actually joins. If you bring Jake to Anna's house, she'll tell him he wishes he'd stay put, but understands that he wants to be out there. She calls him her honeycomb, and is just super encouraging to her man. In Fire Emblem 4, Jake isn't playable, and his personality has shifted from a guy who goes hard in his ballista to a guy who won't actually join the fight because he's afraid of them. So technically, this is another Jake entirely, but it's still Jake. He's in Thracia right now because he wanted to join the Liberation, but got cold feet after seeing those big bows. But in classic silly Jake fashion, he got lost on the way back home to find Anna. Linda, who he comedically references Lind because of their names are similar, helps him on the right path and he gives her an amulet. But later in the chapter he gets lost again, and this time Amid helps him on the right track. His FE4 cameo ends with him being so grateful to Lind and Amid that he hopes that he and Anna can have kids as great as them. Jake doesn't seem to like fighting, but he knows that he should contribute to the war effort. Maybe it appeases his desire for adventure. He's always out and about, being in random places at random times, kinda like what he's doing in Blazing Sword. His cameo in FE7 is like really short, but this time he's a pirate aboard Faerghast's ship. His conversation is unlocked if you visited the inn in the chapter before. All he does is tell you that there is an armory and a shop, and also he's heartwarmed that Anna is thinking about him. I guess the pirate life is a nice in-between for adventure on one end and war on the other. In New Mystery, he's kind of just hanging around Henri's way in support of Anna and her secret shop. Sheeta can recruit him again here, but somehow he lost his ballista and doesn't think he can help. It's as he says, love knows no bounds. Jumping back into Shadow Dragon, in his conversation with Marth, he asks him if he knows Anna's secret shop, in Pig Latin, but Marth doesn't know. Curious, he asks where it is, but Jake refuses to tell him. If I told you, it wouldn't be much of a secret now, would it? The entrance is disguised so you can't find it. Disguised? And they won't let anybody in without a VIP card, so don't expect to waltz through the door by accident. But how do they stay in business? Who knows? Last I heard, they were desperate for customers. Honestly, this whole conversation is charmingly stupid. After Marth suggests reopening it to a tell your friends shop, Jake laughs, then offers him to drop by whenever he's in the neighborhood. Marth then gives up trying to explain that he wouldn't possibly know where it is because Jake won't tell him, because it's a secret. New Mystery support conversations are kind of on the Echoes tier of not having that many of them for a character and not going too terribly deep in characterization. While Jake's entire characterization basically follows the "if I told you it wouldn't be a secret" trope, it's definitely a trope or a line most people have seen played out before, but the logic behind the secret shop not having customers is the subject of all his support conversations. He's not really trying to be clever or sly, he actually just seemed well-intentioned but really stupid. His conversations with Chris and Marth in FE12 continue with this like funny guy, straight guy, can you tell me where the secret shop is dynamic. In his support with Chris, Jake starts to once again talk about the secret shop and wonders, again, how customers aren't actually coming to it. Chris offers to make a suggestion, to simply make it not a secret shop. While Jake thinks that's a great idea, he contests that it wouldn't be a secret shop anymore. It's nothing terribly new from his talk with Marth, but their B support gets into a little more detail of the history of Anna's secret shop. In the B, Jake explains that the secret shop was targeted towards ultra-wealthy customers, and if you didn't have a VIP card, you'd be kicked out. But as it turns out, there's only one VIP card in the world. Jake seems confused as to how this is probably the worst business move in the history of business moves, but Chris offers another suggestion, dropping the VIP requirement. And of course, Jake likes the idea, but says it wouldn't make it a secret anymore. It's pretty clear that Jake is trying really hard to figure out a solution to the secret shop dilemma. I mean, Anna's business is on the line. He loves her and wants to promote the shop, but wants to keep the secret status. In the A support, Chris comes up with yet another solution. Jake, about the secret shop, since its location is meant to be secret, you can't tell people where it is. But how about letting everybody know roughly where it's supposed to be? Jake loves the idea, so he offers to tell Chris where the shop is so he can tell Marth, and he tells him that the shop was near the very spot where they met before. In the desert. In Henri's way. Jake soon realizes he done goofed and doesn't remember where the other secret shops are. The poor soul. He's trying so hard to help Anna, but keeps fumbling the ball. Honestly, I love his characterization. Is it tropey? Sure. But who doesn't love a dummy? He fights because he knows it's right, and despite not being much of a fighter himself, he wants to make his girlfriend proud, happy, and supports whatever decision she makes, even if it's pretty dumb in hindsight to have a secret shop with only one possible customer. Put it simply, Jake is great, and Jake and Anna are relationship goals. The end.